Hello people, and welcome back to some Mechwarrior. Let's see where we're up to. Got some demolition missions here. Not my favourite missions. Garrison duty, but that's against somebody that we like, so we'll probably leave that. Hey Tanissa V, how's it going? Alright. So, we're probably going to head on. Try and do another type of mission. Battlefield contract and infiltration. I haven't done an infiltration mission before. That's good to hear. Loading screens. Alright. So I might start with the infiltration. From what I understand, these are a good one to try and do with just one mech.
Extreme weather warning is in effect, Commander. You'll have limited visibility out there and have to contend with sensor malfunctions.
Let's kick everyone off. Work out what would be probably the best. Probably a commando for a nice fast one. Locust is faster, but these ones at least have a little bit of firepower to them. We'll give it a try. Hey OG Nerd Life, Big Mickey, how's it going? Alright. See if I can actually do this. Again, haven't done these missions before, just heard about them. Yeah, I'm alright.
Commander, I've dropped you right on the front line with hostile forces. Our client is requesting a meet at a small border checkpoint up ahead regarding our assignment here. Report to the marked position on your map.
Alright, let's just switch on that for an extra weapon group.
Stay away from enemy units to remain undetected. Light mechs are
I'm going to
much
try and
harder to
avoid
detect.
fighting anyone in this
Command your
mission,
runs
if
to
at all
hold
possible.
fire, as any attack will immediately raise an alarm. The client would also like us to deal with a number of other tasks in the area, but our contract only stipulates the completion of our primary objective. Complete them at your own discretion, Commander.
Okay. Nearly to the nav point. So we got that secondary of evac without raising a general alarm. I think that's what you want to try and avoid.
On your map, I've marked the location of some valuable supplies that our employer would like liberated. Our client would like us to scout the Op-4's battle mech forces while we're in the field. Attempt to sensor lock each mech you come across without alerting them to your position.
Okay, so we want to get these assets without raising an alarm, but also scan 4 mechs that are out there. Ah, this is a good game, Mickey. Because you get a whole bunch of different types of mechs. Each of them are good at different things. There's different types of weapons, detection warnings. I think I want to go a bit wider.
Target acquired.
Oh, I didn't quite get that go. Sensor lock. Oh, come on. Where are you? There was a mech in there. I saw him for a moment.
Target acquired.
There we go. Urban mech. Cool. Okay, that counts as the target. Oh, I'm gonna have to destroy that gun, I think. So, the reason I'm trying to avoid fights in this one is it's called an infiltration mission.
But he's having trouble getting a signal out.
So
Eliminate
if
them
I get
quickly.
detected,
Good work, Commander. I'm showing no chatter on enemy channels.
detection alert.
We've got it.
I don't know if that was just I got detected or if I nearly got detected. But yeah, the infiltration is you're trying to avoid getting detected, get in, get some stuff or scan some stuff and get out.
Target acquired.
I have to take that out.
Target destroyed.
And so I either need to kill things before it can
Ready to start pickup operations.
set off the detection,
Package acquired.
or just try and keep out of its view. Now there's another mech in there. Gonna have to get a target lock on.
New target Panther.
Panther. Alright, I think I did it
Nearly
just
there,
in time.
Commander. Approach the new object to pick it up.
Oh, I already got a bit hurt.
Data transfer complete. Nice
That's
to
not
have
good.
some extra ballistics.
I mean, yeah, we're big in terms of against cars and stuff, but that's a car versus this mech. If I can, what's the button here? V. That's the kind of size. Not that car. That one's flat. That's the kind of size comparison you want. But relative to the other mechs, this is a tiny mech.
Target acquired.
So that was a Panther back there. And if you notice down in the bottom right corner, I've got my different guns down there. And the top one, which was my my large laser, is actually being destroyed because I got damaged by some turrets back there, which is not good. Apparently they don't notice that their guns are destroyed. No way to fix it in the field. There is like a campaign sort of
You can
overview
never have too much ammunition.
where you fly around the galaxy and can like go buy stuff, go to different areas with different missions. And that's where you kind of repair all your stuff up. Still missing two
Secured.
mechs.
Those weapons will make a fine addition to the armory.
Don't want to fall off the edge. Alright. I mean, it's a secondary mission to scan all of the things.
Target
Take that
destroyed.
down.
New target Urban Mech.
So that's another urban mech. Still missing one of them. But I'd rather succeed in the mission than risk it at this point.
Target
Also,
acquired.
urban mechs will pretty much screw me up. So if you get one of your legs destroyed, you can still move, but you're at like a really reduced speed. If they destroy both of your legs, your mech can no longer move and your pilot auto ejects. If you lose all of your weapons, your pilot auto ejects.
We've completed radar scans on the target's
So I didn't scan all of the
client will be pleased.
enemy mechs, but hopefully should still get a bit of extra money from that. So we got some money, some reputation, which goes to leveling up, some extra weapons, and we can get some salvage. Not a lot here for us because we didn't destroy that much, but yeah, so it looks like we did get some units identified. So that works. Took a bit of damage, made out with more. So we got that like damage down under each guy. You can see where he got damaged. So one of his arms got really damaged, and then his leg got fairly damaged. All the other stuff only took armor damage. So you have like armor health, and then you have structural health, and it's all localized to each area. But yeah, I will have to repair this mech, which isn't too bad. So go in here. Usually you can just press Q from here and it will bring up a repair thing. So the sort of total is going to be 29k, nearly 30k, and it'll take 15 days. And I can see up here that they're uninstalling the large laser that got damaged and installing a new one. So there shouldn't be any missing parts. So yeah, this is the size of that small one that I just drove. The urban mech that I was talking about, that's this boy. They have a big ass cannon usually, so they're a bit ouchy. I've also got another one of these that's got a slightly different loadout. And then there's this small quick guy. He's the fastest mech I've got. But then, so this is the one I was using. And also you can see the damage on him there. All on that right hand side. But then this is my only kind of big boy I've got at the moment. A lot bigger. And he is not even like the biggest ones. Alright, so what we can do is we can go for pick a fight, get into the battlefield. This one I'm going to go for some salvage shares. Actually, I can just grab everything there. So some C-bills is money. Damage coverage is money that it can be worth more, but it only pays out if you get damaged. It only covers your damage. So it's kind of like insurance. If you need it, it's worth more than the C-bills. If you don't need it, you don't get it.
The mission area is under heavy weather warning. It's
So,
going to affect visibility and sensors.
So Mechwarrior 5 is a co-op or single-player game. There is also a Mechwarrior Online, which is a big PvP game. Alright. Chuck everyone back in. Should hopefully have enough room for it. Actually, the other mech there. I'm just moving people around because each of our pilots have different skills. Alright, we're coming under tonnage. So you can go over tonnage if you got more big mechs that you want to put out there. But as you go more over tonnage, you start losing out on your payout. So you'll get less money, less salvage. But we're actually under, which isn't good. Yeah, so we go in as what's called a lance of 4.
If we can maintain this position beyond what
And
our
so
contract stipulates
you'll see here I've
today.
got all the other guys around me. They're all AI controlled. If I was playing co-op with some friends, they would control one of these guys. And then up the top right I've got orders that I can give them. So I can order them all together and tell them all to go over there. Or I could tell the Locust to go over there, which is that one. And then like the Commander to go over there. And that just leaves him going there. And and I can just order them to follow me. I can order them to attack who I'm attacking. So I can target somebody, tell people to attack them, and then they'll go attack them. So, and yeah, this guy's a bit bigger than the previous one. So that was what I was driving last time. It's quite a bit bigger. Come on.
They've detected your presence, Commander. I'm seeing multiple tangos on scope, converging on your current position.
Now this guy here is really slow, but he's got some big heavy weapons. Whereas the other two are quite a bit faster. Alright, so this one we're just going to be defending this area.
Target destroyed. Target destroyed.
No, that's not there.
Target
Gonna be
acquired.
able to hit him for a while. So currently I'm not playing with any mods, but there definitely are quite a few mods out there. One of the big ones is called YAML, yet another mech lab. And that adds in a whole bunch of extra stuff that you can do. Makes it a lot more complicated.
Target acquired.
All of them have engines, like all the mechs will have engines, which you can get different size engines. So I could chuck a bigger engine in here, which means it will have less room for things like weaponry, but it will go faster.
Hostiles inbound. Brace for contact, Commander.
So the ones that look like that are the mechs. So you can tell that that guy's a little mech. And we don't actually need to defend this, which is good because I just blew it up. I didn't quite get a look what kind of mech that was. Ah, so that's a Jenner. So that's a fairly small, fast mech. Sort of like a bigger version of my little Locust guy. Too close. Wouldn't actually mind getting a Jenner because they are pretty decent mech. Like for the early game.
Additional forces entering the engagement area, Commander. Be on the lookout for them.
Him down.
Target destroyed.
Got a fire starter. Fire starters aren't good. Like they're small mechs, but they are really good in close range. So I don't want to be up close with him. So, the reason I'm shooting at the legs is it's a good way of taking them out rather than having to take out the core, which will usually make them explode. If you take out both legs, again, they have to eject. And I'm not 100% sure, but I think that means that they have to... there's like a higher chance of them actually leaving salvage for me to take. They do have less armor usually on the legs. Honestly, if you're really good at the game, you go for the cockpit, and you can take out people pretty easily. I think there's even a higher chance of getting salvage then. But I feel like the legs are a bit easier for me. Yeah, so the missiles home when I've got that red sort of target lock. And I need to keep the target lock for them to continue the home. Otherwise they're, like if I lose it partway through, they'll miss. Let's just try and take this guy out. Did see that there was a mech out this way as well.
Target destroyed.
He's a slightly bigger mech than our ones. So you'll see like our guys here, they've got just the triangle. Same with,
Target spider.
got a spider up there. Might go for that one first. just told everyone to go after them. Oops, see, I lost the target lock there. But yeah, you'll see that this guy doesn't have a dot in it, but the other one that's now behind me does have a dot. And that means that he's actually a medium mech, whereas this one's a light mech. So he's going to be a bit of a bigger boy. Whereas this one's a nice fuss. Some of the enemies, like the tanks, can actually take a few hits to kill. Alright, he's down. That just leaves the guy. And as you see on the left, I've got 9 out of 10 of the enemies destroyed. That just leaves this one mech.
New target, Vulcan.
That is a Vulcan. These guys are fairly close range. Usually they just have a bunch of lasers, but this one's actually got a burst fire autocannon, which they can be a bit ouch. Let's get away. And you'll notice on that mech that he's walking one way and shooting another direction. That's something that like all the mechs can do. There we go. So I'm walking this way, but I can look over this way. I'm still walking that same direction. And like this is as far as this one can go. So I think I can shoot some of my stuff there that's on the arms, but the LRMs that are on the torso can only shoot towards that. So I'm going to go to this.
New target, Blackjack.
I might actually go for that. Blackjacks are a mech that I like. So I can keep fighting here. I don't have to get out quite yet.
We're on your target, Commander.
Now, let's hope I don't take too much damage taking this guy down. Nearly taking out one of his legs. Now the other one taking a bit of damage here. I've actually lost one of my... Oh, I've lost all my lasers.
Target acquired.
What I might do... So I've actually switched over to Mechs now, because I really want to take out...
Enemy reinforcements spotted in the area.
I think that was the other guy that took him out. But yeah, that went for the legs. But yeah, I've now switched to one of the other mechs. That's something you can do. If you're good at the game, you go for the cockpit. And yeah, each of the weapons, they've got a range. You can see it down in the bottom right. It's probably a bit small on stream. But different weapons at different ranges. So like things like machine guns and flamers are really, really close distance. Then you get sort of the auto cannons and the lasers that fill in that middle distance. Damn it. So we've got a spider here that's salvageable. That's the SDR-5V, but the share cost is 13. Well, I've only got 11 shares I can actually get, so I'm not going to be able to grab it. So all that's really here for me is a bunch of sort of equipment, and you'll see like these medium lasers have like one of these marks filled in, whereas these ones down here don't. They're a higher tier, so they're better quality. Anything else I need here? Might just go the AC2BF. And the BF is for burst fire. Alright. So I took a lot of damage on the Griffin, that big boy trying to take out that Blackjack at the end. Would have been a good mech to get. Alright. What have we got around? Targeted kill contract, demolition, scorched earth. Okay, so we're probably going to keep heading up this way. Now, if I go back to the start map, this is the whole galaxy that the game runs in, and then you'll get these war zones that are around. So this war zone that I'm currently in is a easy reputation one, just reputation 1 to 2. So very beginning, we got a 2 to 4 and a 3 to 5 around here. Takes time and money to get around, and also you've got bills that come in every 3 months, every 90 days. So the thing about why the repairs take longer in some systems is because it's harder to get the materials and stuff while you're in a war zone. So while in this area, the repair cost goes up by 25% and the repair time goes up by 35%. It goes up a bit here, so 35% repair cost and plus 50% repair time, and this one's the same as that one. But if we went down to here, like Florida or any of these ones, this is what's called an industrial hub, and they'll be connected by a dotted line. If I go here, it will just be the cost. So when I go and click repair, there won't be any conflict zone penalties for it. But if you look here, with this repair, up the top here, I've got a destroyed weapons and equipment large laser. So it actually lost 2 medium lasers and the large laser, but I've got the material to replace the medium lasers. I don't have another large laser, so I'm going to have to go in and repair it a bit more manually. I don't actually have a large laser to replace it. I'm going to have to just buy a... so this is a large laser short burst. So it's a bit weaker. It also doesn't have a pip, so it's a tier 0. So it's a bit weaker again. But this actually shoots a shorter stream. It will generate a bit less heat, but overall I would have preferred just another large laser. But I can repair that. Might actually buy some more of those just in case. Then the other guys just have a bit of armor and such. And then you'll see on the right here the repair times for each of them. So the Griffin took a big beating there and is actually going to take a thing. So you don't clear out the war zones. You usually just keep moving around the map and you'll get sort of bigger and harder war zones. So I think all the war zones are actually like a set area. Like if I started a new campaign and flew all the way over here, this would still be here. And I think it would still be the same difficulty as in this one. But as I head sort of more into the center, especially to where there would be conflicts along the edges of the factions, I'll hit war zones that have a higher tier. And therefore be thing. So what do you do if all your mechs are damaged? You can either try and repair them and wait, or you can restart. So last stream we did, I had a really hard mission right at the end. It's one of the missions I don't particularly like, a demolition. And I ended up actually failing it. Like I completed the objective but didn't make it to the evac site. All of my mechs went down. So I've actually just restarted as the previous thing. That was this demolition down here, one of these two. Alright, so I'm gonna head up to here. So these icons are all different missions, except for the little shopping cart. So I can go around and do a whole bunch of those. And then if I click on one and press Q, I can actually have a look at which factions they are. So at the moment I'm trying to become friends with House Steiner. The independents I wouldn't mind being friends with as well, but they, like, if I'm going to this system, I'm probably just going to do the House Steiner ones and leave the independent too, especially because they're scorched earth and demolition. But then the little shopping cart symbol is actually a black market's available there, so I might be able to pick up some equipment. So with the factions, you build up a relationship by doing stuff with them. You see, these are massive factions, like government groups, whereas we're just a small mercenary corps. So we do missions for people. But if I show you in here with the contracts, the independents, I'm pretty neutral with. So if I do a contract for them, I've got 2 negotiation points up here, which means I can like get 2 lots of money. I could get 2 lots of salvage shares, which you can see down here goes up. So it's 3 salvage shares per sort of point you put in, negotiation point. But then if I go down to House Steiner, who I'm friends with, the default for this type of mission would just be the 2, but I've got a +3 relationship, so I get these 3 extra ones here. So I can put all that in. And then also there's a +25. I'm not sure where that comes from yet. I believe it might have something to do with the type of hazards for the area. But yeah, it's a pretty fun game. I'm just going to check the black market out, see if there's anything I need. Yeah, I might be able to get some more large lasers. Because I would prefer to switch those back. Nothing major down here. Alright. And there's just an urban mech for sale here. Urban mechs are usually called yeah, trying to outrange the enemies. So there are mechs that are just like specialize in one thing. So if I hover over these guys, like this commando here, I can't really point at it, but you'll see there's the bar sort of going across with the different colors and the boxes next to it. So the first box has the 2 bullets and then has 0 out of 0/0. The next one has a little like star with 2/2. And then a missile with 1/1. So what that means is that it has no ballistic ports. That's the bullets. It has no ballistic slots for weapons. It has 2 slots for lasers and 1 slot for missiles. Whereas if I look at the other commando, which these are like the same looking mech, but they are slightly different. They're different variants. This is 1B and this is 2D. So this one only has 1 laser and 2 missile slots. You get into the later game and you'll have like some guys that have maybe even up to like 10 laser slots, maybe nothing else, or they might have like 4 missile slots, but also each of those slots is has a size to it, so they can only have certain sizes in it. So like here, if I'm looking down here, it can have SRM4s and LRM5s, SRM2s. But if I look down here, this is an SRM6. I can also put an LRM10 in here. And all the difference there is LRM is long-range missile, SRM is short-range missile. But yeah, the torso slot on this one, where it's got the SRM6, is actually a bigger slot than that arm one. And you'll get mechs that there's a mech called a catapult that kind of has like a body like this. It's like a two... I don't even know what you call these type of ones, but like it's got the backwards legs and not like humanoid shaped, but it's just got kind of like 2 missile pods for its shoulders, and that can have like several LRM-20s. There isn't like there's different damage types in that they do different things, but it's not really a... It's more that, how do I put it? Lasers don't take ammo, but they cause more heat, whereas like ballistic weapons don't cause as much heat, but they have limited ammo, and then missiles are kind of like a special medium, or they kind of their own different thing. But then if I'm going into this detailed view, which gets a bit more confusing, you'll see here, like on the right arm, it's got a structure health of 8 and an armor health of 12 out of 16. So it currently has 12 on here. But you could up that, but it adds to the tonnage. This one's already at its limit. So I could take things off this, or maybe I shrink down this SRM-6 to an SRM-4, and then I could put more armor on. And each of the different sections have armor, different armor. And the torso sections, so you have the left, right, and center torso, they actually have front armor and rear armor. So usually if you're shooting at the body of a mech, like their back will usually be weaker. Alright, let's jump into this. So this is a targeted kill mission, which means I'm trying to kill a certain...
The extreme weather conditions will interfere with your sensors and will most likely restrict visibility. Be careful out there.
So I'm going to take both the commandos and the urban mech. I'm just going to hope the urban mech doesn't fall too far behind because it is slow. Now the Griffin is hurt at the moment. I've got it set up to be repaired, and that's going to be another 24 days. But what I can just do here is just click ready, and then it gives me the option to wait. So I'm just going to wait the 24 days. But yes, you can run out of ammo. There isn't anti-missile armor so much, at least not to my knowledge. I haven't got the furthest in this game yet. I know there's some armor type stuff you can get. But there is an anti-missile system that some of the mechs can have. And it has like a limited amount of ammo, but it will try and shoot down it'll try and shoot down missiles that are coming at you.
Someone wants this one dead, and we're happy to oblige.
Okay.
Target acquired.
Well, that urban mech is already falling so far behind. So with this type of mission, I'm going to try and scout out these locations without actually fully engaging. Because I don't want to fight a base when I don't have to. There goes the ship that dropped us off.
There they are, Commander.
Yep.
Take them out and let's get the hell out of here.
Oh. Looks like the first location is the location. Now, unfortunately, I kind of want to wait for the urban mech to catch up. Which he is all the way back there.
New target, Phoenix Hawk.
And I don't get that opportunity.
Commander.
Right, he's about to get too close to the long range missiles. Does he run away? I can shoot again. This guy actually shouldn't be too hard to take out his leg. Oh, that is a enemy dropship.
Primary target
Alright.
is down.
There's the
Kill
primary.
confirmed. That bounty is ours. Fahad will break open a case of Timbiki Dark when you get back to the ship safely. I've arrived.
Shot that too early. That didn't lock on yet.
Holding where you said to go.
Reforming on you, Commander. Engaging shared target ID.
Actually, let's go for this guy first. He's a bit weaker. Bit hard to hit his legs from this distance and such a small target.
Big kill
Alright, that goes
confirmed.
down.
Target acquired.
It's really good when you can take out one of the guy's legs. Oh. I want to take his guns out, to be honest.
Glowing reactor spotted.
Ah.
We're on it, boss.
Alright, so I took down both of his weapons, and that's why he went down. Urban mechs can be nasty, especially in this early game, which is why I wanted my one with me. So yeah, so I've got some decent firepower on this one, but those little guys aren't the strongest. But this urban mech that I've got has an autocannon 10. That's a decent size ballistic weapon, and he can throw out some damage. It's just he is so slow. I've heard them referred to as mobile turrets. But, mobile is a bit of a overstatement. Okay, we got some decent sea bills there, some decent money, almost nearly leveling up again. Unfortunately, the Phoenix Hawk is still too many shares out of our reach, which is very unfortunate. Put a lot of things into salvage and not a lot to get for it. Yeah, unfortunately I just need a higher reputation, which is what I'm going for with House Steiner. Just gonna repair all those. So I'm not gonna do these ones which go against House Steiner because that will upset them. Then I can head on to here. Always got to watch the cutscene. There is mods to get rid of it. Might need to grab one of those. Alright. So, while we're here. So I've got two missions here. I've got one for the Independents against the Periphery Realms, and one for House Steiner against the Independents. But the Independents are fairly low on their relation with me. So if I do the House Steiner one first, I might knock them down to being a -1. So I'm probably going to start with the Independents one. I'll bump them up. I'll probably be bumping them back down in a minute. But let's just go for money for this one. 9 salvage rights probably won't get us much in the way of mechs. The cutscenes are pretty, but every time you move you see the same cutscene, so it's a bit repetitive. I do not want to do a Scorched Earth. That's the type of mission that will leave me with no mechs.
An ally FOB have asked for our protection. Make contact with the friendlies and brace for hostiles to make their move against your position.
One thing I haven't really shown with this mech is it has jump jets. Can't go very far, but you need to get over something. So our allies here have a commando, but if you see up in the top right, he's basically red all over. He is going to go down so quickly.
Now fan out and take defensive positions. Prepare for incoming hostiles.
So just waiting on that urban mech.
Target acquired.
Probably going to lose target lock on this guy. Yep, there we go. Alright, let's just send you
Repositioning.
over there. Lost target lock again. So that first barrage there hit, but the second one didn't.
I'm at the location, Commander.
Additional bogies setting an intercept course on your position.
On the move, Commander.
Alright, so we've got a Jenna. Jenna D. What's my favorite
Move
mech?
it to your requested nav locator, Commander.
Oh, the thing is, there's mechs that are different types. But like one of my favorite is the Jaeger mech, which is kind of an upright standing mech, but it doesn't have arms. But instead of where the arms would be, it has just cannons.
Target info received.
Other than that, I quite like the Grasshopper. I had one that was using PPCs, which is basically like energy snipers. And that was quite good mech. Got pretty good at using the PPCs.
Target destroyed.
So in this mission, we're actually trying to
Enemy mech
defend
forces
this
spotted operating in the area.
base
Watch out
over
for
here.
them.
New target locust.
We'll get him.
Let's send everyone after that locust first. Try and keep the target
fuel
locked.
low. Jump jet fuel empty.
Come on. Just try and punch him a few times. 'Cause
New
Why not?
Tangos appear to be bringing in additional reinforcements. Brace yourselves.
got an assassin over here. Trying to take out his leg as per usual. Honestly, his torso is a bit damaged already, so I might be better off just doing that. he not?
Target destroyed. New target blocked.
Target ID received. Engaging.
See, the Blackjack is like a smaller version of the Jaeger mech. So he's kind of got the arms that are just guns as well. So that's why I was interested in getting one of those when I saw it earlier.
Target destroyed.
Gone down. Alright, we got 2 more enemies that are gonna spawn. Oh, and they're just 2 tanks. So this should be a pretty easy cleanup. We can kill them. But yeah, you can punch. One of the DLCs is actually got a lot more melee options. I haven't played with it much yet, but yeah, there's melee mechs. Yeah, a katana, you can have brass knuckles almost.
Congratulations, Commander. These people owe their lives to you.
So I don't think it does a ton of damage to your arm. I think it does most of the damage to them. Meant to be a bit like a weapon. And there I am, ranking up. So it's probably about time for me to move on from this area. Alright. Jump jets. I can probably do this mission. I want to repair up first. Yeah. Usually, the mech that you're piloting will get the most damaged, because the enemies seem to target who does the most damage, and a real player usually is belting out the damage a lot more than some of the other people. So we'll see the independents went up, so they're at -1 now instead of, I think they were at -11, which means when I do this mission, they actually probably won't drop down into hating us. But we can still get this mission, and we'll get even more relationship with House Steiner. So, if they take down your mech, it is just really expensive to repair. It's not gone. But basically each section that gets destroyed, you've got shit there that you have to replace. And so for something like your torso, there's just a lot of structural damage to repair. The thing is that if your mech goes down, there's actually a chance that your pilots will die, and as you try and level them up, so it's really not good to just lose one. And if they go down by cockpit shot, that's where they're most likely to die. Then if they get cored, which is when they take out the center torso. Basically, if you get cored, that's with your power source just being taken out. This will probably be the last
We have been
mission for the
tasked
night.
with an objective raid, targeting a number of warehouses within the area. Our client wants the building and all of its
It's a
contents
bit of a
destroyed,
long map.
and is willing to generously compensate us for our efforts. We'll contact you with an evac point once all objectives are destroyed.
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins. So in this type of mission, I've got to go to each of the sort of those yellow markers, and there will be something in each location I've got to destroy. But this is not the scorched earth one. Scorched Earth and Demolition missions are my least favorite.
New target, Urban Mech.
Yeah, I can just. Alright. We
Commander
should
target,
probably
now!
take him out. Those cannons are really ouchy. This is why I say that urban mechs suck. Like, even though they're a small, like, cost, like, they're a smaller mech in terms of tonnage, they are just quite deadly.
Target destroyed. Target acquired. Target destroyed. Target destroyed.
Scrap that one.
Target acquired.
Like, one of our guys, he's quite hurt over there.
Target neutralized.
And that's how you destroy a building. No, I'm not doing a Scorched Earth.
Wilco, focusing fire.
So some of those laser shots I just took on this guy actually weren't hitting because he was too far away. Alright, we took out his big gun.
Mech scrap.
Nice.
Ah, one down.
Target destroyed.
Yep, you can set trees ablaze. They will block shots, they will block vision, making it harder for you to target
Target.
Enemy ship
guys behind
landing
them.
at your location.
Target
So
destroyed.
sometimes, like, the reason I was
Once
just
you've
shooting
found
it
the
there
targeted asset,
was
move
to
up
give
it,
me
and we'll
the
begin
target
the
lock
recovery
back
procedure.
because he was hidden behind the trees.
That's close enough. Ready to start pickup operation.
Getting some salvage. It's like
Cargo
hidden treasure
acquired.
chests. Yeah, the ants are gonna come for me. So that guy back there is my urban mech that's really slow. Unfortunately.
Target acquired. Target destroyed.
Oh, what's that? Oh, there's no treasure. I feel like most likely there's going to be another urban mech or something around here. That's a turret.
Target acquired. Target destroyed.
We can just walk through these. Doesn't look like there's an urban mech.
Objective down. All target buildings have been destroyed, Commander. Good job. Getting you an evac now. Head to the marked location.
New target fires.
You heard the boss. Let's light it up.
So you can see the trees just blocked my shot on that one. I think some of the smaller mechs will get hurt walking through buildings. Like, it'll do some damage back, but once you get into the bigger mechs, it really doesn't. So I'm sending all my guys to attack that fire starter, just in the hope that I can get some salvage from it. Because it was over there attacking the urban mech. I'm gonna head over to complete the mission. Come on, take him down.
Focusing the shared target.
You can see his health at the top right, so he's lost both his arms. I don't think my missiles can reach from this range, to be honest. I think he is outside my range. So they're currently fighting a fire starter, which is a really close range mech. So the little guy should be hopefully taking it out with the fire support from the urban mech. But yeah, he's just a little guy. He's probably a similar size to my commandos.
Target destroyed.
And then I just got target destroyed, so he has gone down. I'm just doing that so they might get more salvage.
Let's get you out of there,
Yep.
Commander.
So,
Stand by.
it still had a few weapons on the center torso, or well, either the center torso or the left or right torsos. So yeah, it still had fighting to do. There are even some mechs that will have it on the cockpit. I mean, I could get an urban mech as well. Gives me at least something. Grab on some extra weapons. And that will probably do it. That gives me another urban mech. He's a slightly different variant from the other one I've got. Has similar slots, so I think he might have a bigger cannon slot, to be honest. But that is probably where we're going to leave it for today. Right. Thank you everyone for hopping in and watching me. We will continue this next time. Yes, a lot of those need a lot of work, especially that new urban mech. Alright, thanks for hopping in, guys. Talk to you soon.